You probably recognize this NBA player from his insane ability to hit buzzer beater shots. Like this one. Or these two half-court shots from the same game.
Figures here in the first quarter.
Or this iconic moment when he broke the record for the deepest three in NBA Finals history.
He loves these. Puts it up half court of the buzzer. Bang!
But trust me, Payton Pritchard's value to the Celtics runs so much deeper than his half-court heaves. This dude is different. So how did 25 NBA teams pass up on him? Why is he suddenly so good? And how are the Celtics utilizing Payton Prichard as their secret weapon? Let me show you how this undersized point guard is the key to the NBA reigning champs' offense.
Today's video is sponsored by MyBookie. This season's already one for the history books. LeBron James is sharing the court with his son, Bronny. Nikola Jokic is playing like he's Wilt Chamberlain. And Victor Wembanyama is posting 5x5 stat lines like they're cake. And if you're like me, you're not just here to watch. You're going to bet on it. With MyBookie, you're in control of all the action. We're talking live odds on every clutch three, momentum swing, and every time old man LeBron goes for another triple-double. Right now, MyBookie is giving all new customers a 100% deposit match, up to $1,000, plus a $10 casino chip when you use my code HenryHoops. That's more bankroll to back up your picks, whether it's NBA or college hoops. Plus, MyBookie Bet Builder lets you get creative with player props and SGP, so you can strike the right combo to maximize your payout. And don't forget to take advantage of the daily bet boosts and risk-free offer every Thursday. Just click the link in the description to get a 100% deposit match, up to $1,000 when you use my code HenryHoops. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Now, back to the video.
Might be Payton. There's this drill that we have where like you got to go up against Payton full court. Yeah, and he just be going crazy.
Payton Prichard is not your typical NBA player. He's not flashy. He's nowhere close to the NBA average height. And he's not a guy who was expected to get serious minutes in Boston. In fact, when the Celtics took him with the 26th pick in the 2020 draft, most people thought, yeah, he'll probably be out of the NBA in a few years. One scouting report said that expecting him to be anything more than an average backup for a few years was, quote, unreasonable. Now, that analysis is pretty standard for anyone drafted in the late first round. Take Dylan Widler, for example, drafted in 2019 with the 26th pick. He's barely made a mark in the NBA. Or Landry Shamet, who was drafted in 2018. He had a few decent seasons, but now he finds himself in the G League. And then there's Caleb Swanigan. He got drafted in 2017, but was out of the league a couple years later. Then there's Payton Prichard. Fast forward to 2024, and Payton is dropping buckets, dishing dimes, and making defenses look silly. When you're the 26th pick in the NBA draft, you're not supposed to be this good. So how does a guy who wasn't even supposed to be in the league by now suddenly become one of the Celtics' most dangerous players? Well, like I said earlier, Payton is not your average guy. Payton's basketball journey begins in Oregon, where he played high school ball at West Linn High School. There he won 4 state championships. Yeah, you heard that right. 4. After dominating the high school level, Payton went on to play college at the University of Oregon, where he had one heck of a run. At Oregon, Payton was named Pac-12 Player of the Year in 2020, and also took home the prestigious Bob Cousy Award for being the nation's top point guard. He averaged 20 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds per game. And it wasn't just his stats that stood out, but the way he played. He was poised, competitive, and always looking for a way to outsmart his opponents. What sets Payton apart from others is his mentality. He's the definition of a dog. You know the type. The guy who outworks everyone and thrives on proving others wrong. Just look at the intensity he trains with. He's doing the MJ tongue out thing during this dribbling routine he posted 4 years ago. And recently he revealed that he sharpens his offensive game by paying other professional players to try to defend him.
Well, I'll pay some of my homeboys to come, the ones that play overseas and stuff. I'll pay them for the week to come out and all they have to do is just guard me.
That sort of workout even has Kevin Garnett impressed. I love this mentality, and it's why I started creating the Champions Blueprint, a program designed to take you from wasted potential to peak performance in 30 days. You can start by taking the free mental toughness test. Not only will you instantly see where you rank, you'll get 3 tips to unlock your peak performance today. Try it yourself by clicking the link in the comments. Now, we understand his mentality, but what makes Payton so special on the court? It all comes down to his playmaking ability, his efficiency, and his versatility. Take a look at these 3 shot charts. Shot chart A, shot chart B, and shot chart C. Try to guess which of these is Stephen Curry's, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, or Payton Pritchard's. Well, shot chart C is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's. You can clearly see his above average field goal percentage in the mid-range, in green, and his slightly below average in yellow everywhere else. Now that just leaves Stephen Curry and Payton between shot chart A and B, which means this is a toss-up between the greatest shooter of all time and Payton Prichard. Well, shot chart B is Steph Curry this season, and shot chart A, with all that green, is Payton Prichard. Now, I know these guys have totally different offensive responsibilities, so it's not a perfect comparison, but this is still crazy. And if that doesn't shock you, listen to what Jrue Holiday's response was when he asked who the hardest player to guard on the Celtics was.
Who was the hardest player to guard in the ones?
You know what? It might be Payton. There's this drill that we have where like you got to go up against Payton full court. Yeah, and he just be going crazy.
That's right. The Celtics literally use him as a drill in their practice to train their other players. This is Jrue Holiday we're talking about too. One of the most respected defenders in the league. If he says you're cold, you're cold. However, that still doesn't begin to explain Payton's insane offensive value. Right now, he's averaging 15 points per game on just 28 minutes per game, shooting an effective field goal percentage of 63%, including 41% from beyond the arc. If we're to chart Payton's effective field goal percentage against the top 25 guards in the league, we'd see he's above superstar names like Ja Morant and Luka Doncic. He's better than LaMelo Ball, who's having a breakout year. And as we go up this ladder to better and better shooters, into the realm of Steph Curry and Kyrie Irving, some of the best finishers in the history of the NBA, oh yeah, that's where we find Payton Prichard, the 26th pick in the 2020 draft. Just to summarize and put all of this into perspective, NBA.com has him currently ranked with a number 1 offensive rating in the entire league. That's ahead of Nikola Jokic, the guy with a 92% chance of winning the NBA MVP this season. This year, Payton Prichard is coming off the bench and playing like a star. His insane handle, the ability to stop on a dime and get a shot off against any player in the league is really helping the Celtics' second unit. And when he gets inside, he's got the vision to find an open teammate for an easy score too. A great example of his offensive game came against the Milwaukee Bucks, where Payton scored 28 points. Check out his ability to knock down threes.
Sam Cassell gave him a little tip and it helped him out.
Get to the rim,
Pritchard's got DeLon right defending. Gets all the way to the...
or run an offense and dish to his teammates.
Tatum the catch, release for 2.
Looking at this season so far, you can tell the Celtics are putting more and more trust into him. As I mentioned earlier, he's averaging 15.5 points per game, which is a big leap up from 9.6 points in 2023 and just 5.6 in 2022. Plus, they've given him the ultra green light on shooting threes. Right now, Payton shoots nearly 9 threes per game, which is on par with Damian Lillard and Trae Young. And it's not just about making threes. It's about when he takes them too. At the end of a quarter or halftime, Payton's your guy. But again, shooting does more than just rack up points. It stretches the defenses, forces them to adjust, and creates space for his teammates. In a league that's all about spacing, Payton shooting over 40% from three-point land is a NBA cheat code. So how does Payton fit into the Celtics system? Well, the Celtics already have their Batman and Robin and guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown leading the charge. But Payton's ability to play off the ball, shoot, and create for others makes him a valuable asset in their second unit. We saw it in the playoffs too, where Payton came off the bench and made some key plays. He doesn't always need to be the star of the show, but when his number is called, he's ready to step up. Just remember his clutch three-pointers and timely assists have been critical to the Celtics' biggest wins. But here's where I think Payton becomes the Celtics' biggest secret weapon. When we adjust the Celtics team stats per 36-minute averages, we see that Tatum and Brown are clearly the favorite when it comes to points per game. But actually a toss-up between Derek White and Payton Prichard, who averaged 19.9 points per game and 19.8 points per game respectively. Obviously, I'm completely ignoring the defensive aspect here. Players like Derek White and Drew Holiday are much more valuable for their two-way ability. Still, Payton Prichard is showing you that he's playing on another level. And remember, the NBA is a business. And a player who earns $50 million per year should play astronomically better than another guy who earns just $5. Well, Payton Prichard is currently earning $6.7 million per year, which means he's earning less than NBA guards like Anthony Black and Max Christie, who both average a triple-single. But Payton Prichard is playing more like Bradley Beal, who's one of the highest NBA players in the entire league. That's what makes him the Celtics' secret weapon. Payton Prichard turns 27 in January, which means he's entering his prime. With a work ethic that's second to none and a system that knows how to utilize him, he'll probably continue to baffle the experts. If he can keep refining his game, maybe add a mid-range jumper, or even become more efficient from deep, there's really no limit to what he can achieve. And with the Celtics looking like championship contenders once again, you can bet that Payton's going to play a big role in their success. But what do you think? Will Payton win Sixth Man of the Year? Is his success more to do with the Celtics' amazing depth or his personal fortitude? Like, could he have done this in another NBA franchise? And which NBA player is surprising you the most so far this season? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by subscribing. Make sure you tick on the notifications too, because my next Henry Hoops video is about how a fat and lazy slob took his revenge on the entire NBA. And it's going to be wild. Peace.